Hey, peace to the family, man. Peace to the family. Hey, welcome back. Sankofa 180 degrees, man. Welcome. Hey, I'm glad you guys are here. Don't forget, next Sunday, we got the children's book read coming up. Don't forget, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it, man. We reading nice African books with so much information. Kings and African kings and queens, multi geniuses, pharaohs. Um, fam, we gotta come on with this, man. We got we got a government that's trying to erase our history. They don't even want it taught in the schools. This is how bad it is. They don't want you to know your history, fam. They do not want you to know your history. We gotta do something about that. Something's wrong with that picture, man. When somebody is trying so hard and going through so many steps, spending so much money to ban books, go through Smithsonian's and take out history, you know what I'm saying? And they're going through extreme lengths to hide our history, fam. And we can't let that happen. There's a reason for it. They do not want you to know it. They don't want you to know it, man. Okay. Facts, man. They don't want you to know the history. And so the farther they can keep you away from it, the more control they're going to have over us. Okay. Because now they're going to control the history. No, man, we can't let them do it. We can't let them control the history, fam. We got to put it out there and we got to keep it out there. Okay. We got to keep it out there, man. There's nothing that we just, we don't have a choice, fam. Otherwise, it's going to be lost. Our true history is going to be gone. You see that they're trying. So right now in the state of Florida and many other states, it's 20 plus, and it's coming to a state near you soon. Okay, I'm telling you that it is against the law to teach Black African history. Okay, and so now when they, in the next couple of years, when they come back and say, "Oh, that was unconstitutional. We should have never done that. We're gonna put the history back in school." But by this time, they done rewrote the history book. They got a whole new one for you, right? And it's gonna tell you that the slaves benefited from slavery. Our brothers and sisters benefited from slavery. They got skills from slavery. And you're talking about the people that built megaliths, uh, pyramids, all kind of structures, but somehow slavery gave them some, skills, and they benefited somehow from slavery. So fam, all I'm saying is, by the time they're done and they re-implement history, right? After they say that it was unconstitutional, they should have never done it. Then what they're gonna do is they're gonna put their own. So they're gonna have their own uh, portion of it, their own understanding. And this is the history that they're gonna teach their kids. And you can't be mad at that. We can't be mad at that. Can't be mad because they teach this. That's what they choose to teach their kids. It's up to us to teach our kids our history. They can't teach our kids their history. It's always going to be distorted. Always. All right. You can't let nobody else, no other ethnic group tell you your history. Okay. Because it's always going to be distorted. Okay. So this is why we dedicate the first Sunday every month to children and the history that they snatching out of these schools and out of these museums and out of offline. You know what I'm saying? The books that they're taking. We got to figure this out, man. We got to fight this. So this is why we dedicate the first Sunday of every month to this cause, because we ain't trying to. I don't want my kids to be going to school or going getting on the line talking about did slavery ever happen? No, we got a history way before that, and they need to know about the history that came way before the slavery. And I'm talking about thousands of years before slavery. They need to know that history, and then we can walk them all the way to slavery and all the way up until to current day. All right, but but they have to know that history. They have to know it, and they're fighting really hard to keep us from that history. And you have to ask yourself, why, man? Why is it so important for them to erase that? Why? Hey, man, it's all because, man, they don't want you to know it, man. They don't want you to know it, and somehow, some way, they become ashamed of it. They not as proud as they used to be about it. They used to have the postcards and the stamps and all this other little stuff, man. Ads in the paper. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So we were really proud of it at a point in time. Now it ain't. I guess it ain't such a. They ain't so proud no more. So now they decided that I think we just go ahead and just get it out the way. We ain't got to deal with it, right? Yeah. Well, so we're not gonna let that happen, fam. So anyway, hey man, peace to the fam, man. Hey, we glad y'all here. Peace, Gerald. Peace to you, King. Okay.
Wanna know, peace to you, Jamie. Peace to you, E. Hope y'all doing alright. Happy to be here as always.
For sure.
Yeah,
For
man.
sure.
Yeah, and then to know our history is criminal now. You know, you know, you get in trouble for learning your history. So I know that'll scare a lot of people. They don't even want to deal with it, but it's definitely something you should want to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Knowledge of ourselves scares them. They don't want us to have knowledge of self. They
Oh,
want they want us to tell us who we are. They don't want us to search and find out for ourselves because they criminalize that
that's right.
because that makes them feel mad. It
That's right.
all comes from making them and their children feel a certain way. And they don't care about how we feel. They never cared about how we felt during slavery. They tried to tell us we enjoyed slavery. We was happy with slavery and all this here kind of nonsense, you know. Right in the face of all the riots, everybody trying to take their heads off. They trying to tell people that we was happy in our place, you know. And right now they trying to, and again, and James can tell you, telling us that slavery was something that we benefit from. We benefited from slavery. It wasn't burden on us. It was a beneficiary to us. So, we always want to go back to the beginning. And we go back to the beginning, go back to the origin, and it all be more clear. I think that's what we're dealing with tonight. But I don't want to talk too much longer. Turn the floor back over to you, Jamie. That's all. That's love.
That's right. That's right. E, peace to you, King. You there? I might have to catch E in a minute. But so fam, we got a video. We got a nice video. Uh, origin of black people. The origin of black people, according to Cheikh Anta Diop. Right now, what we got to do is uh hold on. So yeah, yeah. So we got a video by Cheikh Anta Diop,
Right.
and uh and Cheikh Anta Diop is he's an anthropologist. He's a scientist from Senegal. He's a black anthropologist uh and a scientist. I mean, he's another one of our multi geniuses.
Yeah.
He's another one of our multi geniuses, fam. And I think we all need to know about Sheikh Anta Diop. All right. He was born December 29th, 1923. He died February 7th, 1986. He's from Senegal. He's a historian, anthropologist, physicist, politician who studied the human race, origins, and pre-colonial African culture. Okay. Uh, Diop work is considered foundational um, to the theory of Afrocentricity. Through he himself never described himself as an Afrocentrist. Uh, but anyway, I just wanted to give you an overview of who we're dealing with. He's a historian, he's an anthropologist, a physicist, and a politician. And he's going to take us through some history. Peace, peace, King. Hey, and so I wanted to give y'all a little something on Sheikh Anta Diop, fam. Like I said, so he's Black African, fam, and so that's right. And so here we go, fam. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hit it up. We got a video by Sheikh Anta Diop, uh, the origin of Black people according to Sheikh Anta Diop. Yeah. And just so we can show our family, man, that hey man, we some cold people, man. Our people's cold, man. And y'all just pay attention. It's 30 minutes. Pay attention, fam. And we stop it whenever y'all want, man.
I love you, William. I'm just a poor country girl, and you're the richest man in this country.
The earliest known Africans to arrive in Europe, known as the Grimaldi people, migrated there about 40,000 years ago. As African civilization flourished, it passed its knowledge to the Mediterranean world. This period marked the second phase of Africa's contribution to universal civilization, where the values and advancements of Egyptian civilization were transmitted to Greece, and from there to the broader Western world. The Greeks who traveled to Egypt, such as Thales in the 6th century BCE, acquired knowledge that they later adapted and passed down as part of their own intellectual heritage.
I've been up all night.
Sleep regression is hard.
Oh no, he'd sleep through a rave. His dad and I made a
Africa is often considered a primitive continent that has contributed very little to the progress of civilization. People frequently talk about the rendezvous of giving and receiving, implying that Africa still needs to prove itself, and only in the final stages of universal civilization might it contribute something to humanity. However, this view completely reverses the course of history and tells the story backward. The reality is that it was the African continent that was at the origin of all civilization's development. I would like to highlight 3 key stages of this evolution and discuss them with you. Let's start at the very beginning. Today, it is widely accepted, but this was not always the case. About 30 years ago, suggesting that Africa could truly be the cradle of humanity seemed a far-fetched idea, and it took considerable intellectual courage to propose such a thought. Since then, research has advanced, and we now know that Africa is indeed the birthplace of humanity. You might say that the cradle of humanity has been described as a cradle on wheels, moving from one continent to another. Initially, it was placed in Asia for reasons rooted in biblical tradition and appearances. Asia was seen as the home of the three races, black, white, and yellow, and biblical tradition also placed the cradle of humanity there. Early archaeologists like Marcelin Boule and others attempted to verify biblical accuracy by undertaking excavations in Mesopotamia to prove the occurrence of events like the flood. In Asia, they found the Pithecanthropus fossils, which, despite being scant evidence, were enough to claim that the cradle of humanity was in Asia. However, as research intensified, it became apparent that Africa, rather than Asia, should be considered the starting point. This was not a completely new idea, as even Darwin had suggested that humanity might have originated in Africa. Today, the fossils and other archaeological findings in Africa leave no doubt about this. Africa is the cradle of humanity. Once the cradle was placed in Africa, it never left. Every day, new discoveries in prehistory and prehistoric archaeology reinforce the fact that Africa is indeed the birthplace of humanity. 6 specimens of early humans, or proto-humans, were born in Africa. While the term human may not be entirely appropriate for all of them, for the sake of illustration, let's say that 6 types of early humans originated there. The first 3, Australopithecus robustus, Australopithecus gracilis, and Homo habilis, did not, according to current research, have enough expansion potential to leave Africa. However, the other 3 did migrate out of the continent and went on to populate other regions. The 3 that left Africa were Homo erectus, who appeared in Africa around 2 million years ago, Homo neanderthalensis, known as the Neanderthals, and Homo sapiens, the modern human species. These 3 varieties of early humans left Africa to populate the rest of the world. Homo erectus, for instance, likely began leaving Africa around 1.7 million years ago. There were 2 main exit routes, one via the Sinai Peninsula, the Isthmus of Suez, and the other through the Strait of Gibraltar. These routes were utilized by the first humans born in the East African region, encompassing Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania, and even as far south as South Africa. This early humanity spread out of Africa through these pathways. The migration of Homo erectus out of Africa occurred probably around 1.7 million years ago. Modern humans, or Homo sapiens sapiens, began leaving Africa about 40,000 years ago, moving into Europe, especially through regions like Spain and France. It is this process of migration and adaptation to different environments that led to the development of various racial groups. If humanity had remained in Africa, the diversity in racial features would likely not have emerged because the African climate did not necessitate extreme physical differentiation. It was as Homo sapiens moved into Europe during the last ice age, which lasted for about 100,000 years, that these physical traits began to change. The challenging environmental conditions in Europe encouraged evolutionary changes, leading to the gradual development of lighter skin over a period of approximately 20,000 years. The first Africans to enter Europe are known as the Grimaldi people, who arrived about 40,000 years ago. They stayed in Europe, evolving until around 20,000 years ago, when the first light-skinned people, known as the Cro-Magnons, appeared. About 15,000 years later, the Chancelad people, considered the prototype of the yellow race, emerged during the early Paleolithic period. These 3 racial groups, the black, white, and yellow, existed during the last glaciation. The earliest group, the black race, spread from Western Europe to as far as Lake Baikal in present-day Russia, across regions like Crimea and the Don Basin. Archaeological findings suggest that 32,000 years ago, there was a single homogeneous humanity, which was Negroid. As they migrated, they began to differentiate. The same humanity that populated Europe eventually crossed the Bering Strait around 15,000 years ago to populate the Americas. This migration pattern supports the idea of a single origin for all humans because, despite the diverse climates found across the Americas, no earlier human fossils, such as Homo erectus or Australopithecus, have been found there. indicating that only later human species migrated to the Americas. Moving beyond prehistory, we enter the historical period, which is characterized by the advent of writing. Once again, Africa, specifically Egypt, was ahead of the rest of the world. The Nile Valley civilization developed a system of writing as early as the 4th millennium BCE.
Did it freeze up, Jamie, or is it just on mine?
My bad, man. My bad. No, what I was saying was was uh
This divorce agreement
um
is between you and your wife, Mrs. Irving.
the
She wants nothing to do
damn
with
man.
scheming and unfaithful
What
husband.
what he was just talking about. He just when he
Oh, so Linda and Mark
hold on.
You was
Let
talking
me,
about the
go back.
migration?
Yeah. So well no, hold on. Let me go back just one little bit.
share in the Irving Corporation becomes half.
Hold on.
Only 7.5%.
Because
Rent a car from our
Or
newest
the
fleet yet.
2,000-year
The
extra?
real
when he
car
talking
never
about
leaves
what
town.
when he talk about so when he talking about migrating to Americas, right? When he's migrating to the Americas, right? When he talking about that they was already
Have
here.
you ever wanted to see your
You know what
home
I'm
from
saying?
space? With this free satellite Earth Maps tool, you can
And it's
zoom right
showing
down to
that
your exact.
what was found here, what was found in the Americas,
Have been found.
what was found in Americas, you know what I'm saying, wasn't old enough. So that it proves that everybody migrated to America. Nobody, rose up from there. You feel me?
We're getting divorced.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Say that last part. You said nobody rose up from. Say that last part.
So what I was saying was, you know how the Aborigines will tell you that they're not from Africa, they're
Right.
from America, right? And so, and what I'm saying is what he just explained was there was definitely a migration to Americas. No, you know what I'm saying? Because the bones don't show nothing older than Africa. What they found, the fossils or whatever they found, is not older than Africa. So that lets you know that you migrated here.
Right.
It was a migration.
When at the beginning, when they declared
Late-
Africa as the cradle of civilization, ain't no more argument right now. When Africa becomes the cradle of humanity, or anything like that, then the argument for anybody else is out of there.
Right.
Because at one time, they tried to say the cradle of civilization was in Asia, and black and white and Asian was all living there. You know what I'm saying? And then when it came to Africa, no, it's in Africa, period.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But they don't but the Aborigines don't believe that man originated that humanity rose in Africa. They don't believe that. They don't believe that. So that's why I said
Then they live in another reality. And
yeah,
they'll really tell you, they know that shit fake. They'll just
I mean they
tell
got to,
you,
man.
leave them alone. They know what they know, and leave us alone. And, they know that. They really small. They really small.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, but that's that they'll tell you that, and only because the grandma or their uncle or somebody told them, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna go off of the historical data. They're gonna go off of grandma. That's what they're going off of. And then they'll show you some, what was his name? The African that I can't think of his name. I think
Yeah, I know
I'll
what
get
you're
it.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that shit
Yeah.
in the mall, all that shit.
All
Yeah.
that shit been debunked, man. You know what I'm saying? He was showing a dude that they oh man, it was
Albert Terry or something like that, his name.
yeah, some shit, man. I was like, yeah, right, man. Like, nah, man. You still not going back far enough. You're still not
Yeah.
gonna ever be able to go back far enough. You feel me? So it doesn't matter what you know what you pull up. Not saying that you're not gonna find no bones there because we were there. Not saying that. What we saying is how did they, but where they originate, where they come from, where you know what I'm saying, where do those bones, where do those people originate from? They came there. They wasn't they didn't they didn't that wasn't the birthplace of humanity. You know what I'm saying? So that's all. I was just pointing that out, man.
Later, human species migrated to the Americas. Moving beyond prehistory, we enter the historical period, which is characterized by the advent of writing. Once again, Africa, specifically Egypt, was ahead of the rest of the world. The Nile Valley civilization developed a system of writing as early as the 4th millennium BCE. By 3236 BCE, the Egyptians had already established a sidereal calendar based on the rising of the star Sirius. They recognized that this star rose with the sun every 1,460 years, which became the basis for their timekeeping. Under the Old Kingdom, the Egyptians had already mastered various scientific fields, including medicine, geometry, algebra, mechanics, and architecture. For example, the great scholar Imhotep, later deified by the Greeks, made significant contributions to architecture and technology during the reign of Pharaoh Djoser. Greek scholars who traveled to Egypt, such as Thales, Pythagoras, and Plato, learned from Egyptian science and mathematics. The Greeks later adapted these teachings, but the foundations were undeniably African. Despite often being credited as the originators of Western science, many of the concepts attributed to the Greeks were actually inherited from African civilizations. To sum it up, Africa's contributions to universal civilization are substantial and deeply rooted. The continent not only gave birth to humanity, but also played a crucial role in shaping early human society and scientific knowledge. Understanding these contributions allows us to acknowledge the interconnectedness of human cultures and the central role that Africa has played in the history of civilization. I really want to emphasize these facts about Africa in prehistory. Homo erectus entered Europe around 400,000 years ago, followed by Neanderthals, who probably arrived around 100,000 to 150,000 years ago. Then came Homo sapiens sapiens, modern humans like us, who left Africa about 40,000 years ago and gradually spread across Europe. This is essentially the process of the formation of humanity, from its origins to its migration and settlement on different continents. If humanity had remained confined to Africa, it wouldn't have developed into different races. The African continent has a relatively stable climate that doesn't strongly favor racial differentiation. Hence, race is fundamentally a geographical concept. It was the migration of Homo sapiens sapiens out of Africa 40,000 years ago, particularly into Europe, that led to the process of racial diversification. These early humans entered regions like Spain and France, where they endured extremely harsh conditions during the last Würm glaciation, which lasted about 100,000 years. The specific environmental challenges in Europe drove the evolutionary changes that led to the development of different racial features.
Y'all good on that? Now he's telling you where the different skin tones come from, right? Y'all good on that?
I think one thing, well, I don't want to say he's wrong, and that's blasphemy. But I
Go
still
ahead.
think diversity in Africa is bigger than anywhere else. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying I still think the diversity in Africa is still bigger than anywhere else.
Oh, for sure. No doubt.
Yeah, we got the tallest person in the world, the shortest person in the world,
The
the dark, you
darkest.
know what I'm saying? The diversity, all, you know, so we got it all in Africa.
That's right. We got the darkest
Without
in
nobody
the world.
coming in to mess with us. We create all of it.
That's right. That's right. That's the biggest. That yeah, they got the biggest diversity on the planet.
I'm where I am today because of my hard work.
For sure.
William and his mother. They showed real love. And I was just starting to forgive.
Hold on, you breaking up.
Oh,
Say it again.
we like to think it's one total type of an African when we can look anyway. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah, the Asian eyes come from us. All that come from us. Blonde hair come from us. All of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Facts.
Gray hair, curly hair, curly hair, all of it comes from us first.
Facts. Facts. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
So they saying that so the first Homo sapiens could have been the Khoisan. What y'all say about that?
And the poison and the
You said
pigment
Khoisan.
is the same thing.
Right.
Then yeah.
Yeah, they
I've
are.
always heard it was the soie when they call the pigment, and I've always heard it was the koi. So if they the same thing, then yeah.
That's what I say. What you say, E?
Like you said, it's the Twa, we're referring to the Twa people as the small people out of the Congo somewhere. Yes, but I don't know if they were as because the Khoisan are further way south, more south. But I think that Great Lakes region is where they had the origin at. So further closer to them Great Lakes,
So like
them lakes down there. So
Uganda. You talking about like Uganda,
there you go. Yeah. So if
Kenya,
you're looking at them 12 that was short Uganda, Rwanda, that area. Yeah, that area. Yes, sir.
Kenya,
That's what I think.
Uganda, that
Yeah.
that area.
Yeah. Yes. But the people from Tanzania and South and the Khoisan are definitely some old folks, man.
So you
But
talking
I
about
don't like
like
I
by
said, I
the
don't know.
horn, right here by
It's
the
a toss
horn,
up.
then, right?
You got a map up?
Well, shit, Gerald got one right there.
Let's see.
You see it right there with right
Oh
here,
no. Let me see. I gotta check. Let me see. Screen. Hold on.
right here with that
I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, can't see it. That's my thought, but shit. They probably one and the same, brother. They probably one and the same.
That's what I say.
They just travel up the road. Hell, they
That's
probably
what I.
one and the same.
We'll show
Yes,
y'all a
sir.
picture. We'll show y'all an image of the
Cause they
Khoisan
both,
too,
cause
family.
Hello?
they both clicking. They both, people in Tanzania, they got both clicking.
That's right. That's
Around it.
right. That's right. Facts. They
Yes, sir.
definitely got that click.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
They got
sir.
that click.
Oh yeah, they
Oh,
got
hell
that.
yeah, I like baklava.
Okay, y'all ready?
Oh yeah, that's some good shit.
Gerald, you good? You good?
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I will.
Okay, we roll.
Okay. Bye.
by Homo sapiens sapiens was necessarily negroid in Würm glaciation, which lasted about 100,000 years. The specific environmental challenges in Europe drove the evolutionary changes that led to the development of different racial features. The humanity that emerged in Africa around 120,000 years ago, represented by Homo sapiens sapiens, was necessarily negroid in appearance. For higher organisms to survive in the prehistoric conditions of East Africa, around the latitude of Kenya, they needed to be heavily pigmented to protect against ultraviolet radiation. Melanin functioned as a shield, safeguarding the organism and allowing it to endure. This explains why the early humans born in Africa had darker skin. When these humans migrated to Europe under the different conditions of the prehistoric world, they gradually adapted to the new environment. These adaptations resulted in lighter skin tones over time. This change is estimated to have occurred over a period of approximately 20,000 years. The earliest known Africans to arrive in Europe, known as the Grimaldi people, migrated there about 40,000 years ago. They remained there, evolving until around 20,000 years ago when, for the first time, lighter-skinned humans, known as the Cro-Magnon, appeared. It took another 15,000 years for a different human type to emerge, commonly referred to as the Chancelade man, which is considered a prototype for the so-called yellow race. During the early Paleolithic period, these three main racial groups, black, white, and yellow, existed simultaneously in the context of the Würm glaciation. The earliest racial group, the black race, spread from Western Europe across to Lake Baikal, through areas like Crimea and the Don Basin, covering the whole of present-day Europe. Around 32,000 years ago, archaeological evidence shows that there was a single homogeneous humanity of Negroid origin spread across these regions. As they migrated, they also began to differentiate into distinct groups. This same humanity later crossed the Bering Strait around 15,000 years ago to populate the Americas. The settlement of the Americas is a strong confirmation of the monogenic origin of humanity. Despite the wide range of climatic zones in the Americas, from Tierra del Fuego to Alaska, there are no earlier human fossils, such as Homo erectus or Australopithecus, found there. This absence supports the theory that early humans migrated from Africa much later. Homo erectus, for example, did not reach the Americas despite leaving Africa and being found in other parts of the world. Thus, the monogenic theory, which posits a single origin for humanity, has been confirmed by prehistoric archaeology, even though it may have seemed implausible at first. There is also the polycentric theory, which suggests that, under certain conditions, nature could have independently created different human races in various regions. However, this theory is not supported by archaeological evidence, and is unlikely because it is highly improbable for nature to follow the same evolutionary path multiple times. The monogenic theory aligns with the actual process of human evolution and is consistent with scientific findings. By embracing this understanding, we acknowledge that Africa, by sheer chance, became the birthplace of humanity, and the subsequent population of the rest of the world began from this continent. Those who left Africa did not migrate empty-handed. They carried with them the skills and technologies they had developed. For example, the orientation industry, associated with the Grimaldi people, brought sophisticated stone tool technology to Europe. Humans
I was thinking the same thing. Go ahead, Gerald.
That's me and him killing the whole argument. When you really get scientific with somebody claiming aboriginally, near the aboriginal, it's monogenetic versus polygenetic. Mono means one creation. Poly means many.
Right. Right.
But so the African was created, the black man was created in Africa, the white man was created in Europe, the red man created in America, the yellow man created in Asia. That's polygenetic theory.
Yeah, it says a disease or condition is caused by a mutation in a single gene.
Mm. But the monogenetic, that's what the whole genome project proves. That everybody comes from Africa, one gene. You know what I'm saying? So on the scientific level, you don't argue with nobody how they might know. My grandmama said I came from America. You know, it's not even an argument in on that level. You know, that's just somebody being stupid. You know, it's not an argument. How can you even argue it? But that's when he just coming right in that point. He ended that whole argument. But I hear you,
No, I was just you did good, man. You did good. I was just thinking a good pause too, man. So you can just keep going.
Arrived with well-established cultural and technological practices, which were revolutionary at the time, especially given the challenges of surviving in a largely untamed natural world. As humanity transitioned from prehistory to history, the invention of writing marked the beginning of recorded history. Once again, Africa led the way, with the Nile Valley civilization advancing ahead of others due to several factors. Europe, at that time, was still emerging from the lengthy worm glaciation, which lasted about 100,000 years, ending around 10,000 BCE. During this period, Africa experienced relatively normal climatic cycles, alternating between dry and wet phases, which allowed for more consistent cultural and technological development compared to Europe, where people still lived in caves.
Hey, so while they was freezing, Africa was still thriving. You see that?
Right.
Well, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. That's yeah. I always wondered that, man. Once when it was the ice age, did did it did it freeze Africa too? Right.
Right.
I was always wondering that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's when we became gangster. You with me?
You said that's when we became gangster.
Yeah.
Right.
When we went there, we wasn't white. We turned white through the climate thing. So when they even talk about the Grimaldi man, that's the first man went in Europe, right? He not a white man, that's a black man.
That's right.
Right.
All of
Yeah,
them black.
All of them
yeah.
black. Right.
The black man who got caught in the climate change is the one that turned gangster. He's still a black man.
Yeah. He just turned
He
because
just
listen,
turned
because
gangster
of the
when he
climate
was
though. The
yellow.
climate played every part in that.
The
That
climate
climate,
became the yellow. You ain't got nothing to grow. You ain't got no food. It's cold. In Africa, they partying, fruit coming up the tree. They ain't just gonna picnic. The flood coming in every year. They ain't got nothing to do. They so. You
So
know what
so
I'm
so are
saying?
you saying that the barbarianism derived from the
Nature.
barbarianism derived from the colder climate.
climate.
Yeah, from your nature. From the
Damn right.
nature training.
Right.
You
I
in a
just wanted to
bad
make that
nature.
clear.
That's what it
Yeah.
took to survive. Otherwise, you was gonna
Right.
die.
Right.
That's how
Now
that,
in our world.
and they brought that shit to Africa, and that's how they got it. Because they didn't, you know what I'm saying? Africa shit, we wasn't no real war culture. That was a war. The people turned into a real war culture, man, to where they was warring all the time because they was trying to eat and stay warm. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Right.
they
Right.
had to eat. Hey, Africa was eating, so they didn't have to worry about that. So that's how they was able to develop all these sciences because we was able to eat, and we had to worry about surviving and freezing and none of that, right? And so like you said, went from a wet to a dry climate. That it used to be all green. It used to be called the Green Sahara.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. So yeah, yeah. So that's all. I'm just saying, that was that's what it's about. When they came back to Africa, hey, they was like Zero said, they was some G's. They was hungry. Hey, they they see the shit. They was hungry, man, and cold.
And they had to recognize that their pigment changed,
They was, hey man, at that point, man, they was whole
right?
different people because they raised in different hoods, just like, just like, just like you know, our hood to East Lansing. You know what I mean? Our hood to Hope or
Right.
Okemos. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different ball game.
Right.
You
Right.
go in there, you know what I'm saying? You go in there, play 1-on-1 basketball, you gonna smash him.
Right.
All that racing, over the 50, 40 yard dash, the 40, you gonna crush him. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Let's roll.
I think did you unmute your mic to say something?
Hmm.
Oh no, I'm agree. I'm listening.
Okay.
No, I'm good. Hello. I just had a question about. You never did explain to me what happened with your when you got up there and got lost. Who was you messing around with when you stayed up there?
Well,
Who,
hey, he kind of did say,
who was you having
he,
offspring by?
hey, it was it was
Huh?
you know who it was? It was the mother two that rolled off with you
See? Uh-oh.
because
So
the
so
first
what you
three
said is
died
there was
off.
no encounters once you got
The
there.
first three died off. So, right.
Okay.
So,
Say that
Okay.
again, E. Just say that one thing one more time, E.
So so no, I said so you didn't have no close encounters once you got over there. Once you got stuck over there. You didn't have no you weren't tipping onto some new stuff you thought you ran into, huh? Is that what you're trying to say? You brought it with you?
well, no, I'm saying that out of the three, what was it? It was Neanderthal and Homo
Cro-Max?
sapiens sapien and uh
Uh,
who was it? Homo
somebody couldn't
erectus.
talk.
Right.
Somebody couldn't talk. So
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: the other two couldn't talk.
okay.
The other two couldn't talk. I think the
Snuff
one
it.
Homo sapiens sapien could talk.
Okay.
That's what I
All
think.
right.
I'm not. I ain't too sure about the Neanderthal. I think that he could probably do some communicating too. But that that
You
that
think he
first
had a voice box?
the first one wasn't he wasn't doing nothing. He
He said he at least had a voice box.
Jay.
hey, that's what I don't know what the Neanderthal could do. I think he could. He probably could communicate too. It probably be a little, like a
Right.
different, accent maybe. I don't know. He might have a heavy accent
Right.
or
Right.
something.
What are you talking about, grunting? Is an accent?
Huh? I'm
You,
saying that
you
the
call grunting an
Neanderthal might have an
accent?
accent, but the Homo sapiens sapien, he definitely talking.
Right.
Yeah, he definitely talking. Now the Neanderthal, he might have to be taught to talk. I don't know. I mean, what I'm saying, he might have to figure it out. Like I said, he might have a
Sure.
cold uh you know
Larynx might be froze, huh?
no, he just might have a
Wow.
yeah, he just might have a accent, a cold accent. You know what I mean? When he pronounce his
Okay.
words. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. All right.
Hey,
All right.
yeah, but I think we might have messed with the I don't know if I don't think we'd have messed with the first one. I think that's why they died off so
You
fast.
so?
I don't know,
All right,
man.
well, what about when
Now,
what
hey,
about when you
now
went
I ain't
east?
gonna say that the Neanderthal didn't fuck with it, whatever the fuck that was,
I got you.
right? I'm
I
not gonna
got
say
you.
that the
I got
Neanderthal didn't fuck with it and brought something
I got you.
that maybe we fucked with.
Indirectly.
hey, hey, but you know, it kind of washed out a little bit of what was in there a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Let me quit, man, cause
No, man, you all boy.
Man,
that shit crazy. If you
man.
keep going though, you keep going, you gonna come up with some good ideas though.
Oh, I need the table. What table, sweetheart? Oh yeah, over here.
Right? If you
Right,
keep
right,
going,
right.
you'll come up like if you
Yes,
know what
sir.
I'm saying? So who fuck with who? Yeah, I don't know. But hey, I'll tell you what, I ain't gonna put it past the
Okay.
motherfucker. See what the motherfucker
What
you
time
know,
period?
one of them nights strolling through to see what them motherfuckers over there cold or me over there, you know what I mean? Whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, what's the time period?
Hey, y'all. Move.
Well,
Ooh,
the time period would be I had to go
y'all want
back.
chairs?
Uh,
Y'all want chairs?
This is Homo
so
sapien or
no,
after
no.
Homo
I think that
sapien?
was 40,000 years. I think that was the
Yeah, that's what he
40,000.
said, 40,000.
I think that was the 40,000. So forty
And the,
thousand years at the 40,000 year mark, you had three more that walked out of Africa, and that was the Homo sapiens sapien. That was the Neanderthal, and the other one I can't. It was at the Homo erectus or something.
All right. So when you went east, who'd you run into?
Huh? When we went east,
When you went east, when you went east, who you run into over there? Was Neanderthal
well,
over there too?
I don't. Well, I think. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say that it wasn't shit over there because, like you, because the first three that went there that didn't really survive don't mean that they didn't leave
Right.
something. Am I right?
That's right. They didn't need something. That's
I
true.
don't know what they left, and then so I don't know what
Right.
they left, and then when we went east with them three, like I said, that last one probably, rocked with it, whatever. The
Yeah.
Neanderthal might have had a little, he probably rocked a little crazy too, but you know what I'm saying? But and then one of us, we probably walked over there and seen some. Hey.
See something in what? What happened when you
Hey,
see
Uh
hey,
something?
oh.
hey,
Uh
what's
oh.
happening with you? How you doing?
Uh oh.
Yeah,
How
you
you
know what I
doing?
mean? How
Uh
you doing?
oh.
Shit,
Is that what happened?
yeah,
Uh
just see
oh.
what your name is and what they say you is.
And you didn't care if she couldn't respond back.
I don't know if she could or couldn't. I mean, he probably thought it was a different language,
it didn't
and it probably
it didn't even
and
matter,
very
right?
well so. It might have been very well might have been a different day language, whatever they did at that time,
Different language. That's
right?
right.
Because you got to
Yeah,
understand,
that's true.
yeah, whatever. Because what was we speaking? What I'm saying? What was we
Right.
speaking at that time when we came out? I guarantee
We're
we was
clicking.
clicking.
We're probably clicking.
I guarantee we was
Clicking. You
clicking.
clicking,
You
bro.
damn right. I
Is
guarantee
that?
we was clicking. So,
You got some clicking going on.
so I think if whatever was left might click too. Shit, I don't know. You don't know what. You
Hey,
don't know
no.
if they
Because I'm
click
gonna
too.
tell you, man. No. Some no. Some didn't have a developed voice box, and they looking at craniums and can tell that some about the socket of the ear, whatever it would be, some about that cranium, and can determine which one of them jokers had a voice box and which one of them didn't. So no, you was running across something that couldn't even talk, probably, and you was hitting it. Yeah, y'all were doing. Y'all would have cared if she couldn't talk. Y'all didn't care about that. Only thing you realized, you didn't give a damn if she was a little hairy too, but you knew that pussy was in the right spot. That's that's what was important.
Well, whatever it was, we were able to. Whatever it was, we were close enough to be able to procreate, right? So,
And to bring them and to bring them human and to turn them human.
so whatever it was, we were close enough
Yeah,
as a species to procreate,
that's true.
right?
You had,
So,
yeah, within 250,000 years, they say.
right. So,
Yeah, they say you got to be within 250,000 years within that, yeah, in order to maintain that species. Outside of that, you're gonna change some stuff. We're gonna change some stuff around.
right. So
That's the theory.
whatever it is, just like just like a donkey, he can't procreate,
Yeah.
right? But what he came from can procreate.
No.
So I'm just
No.
saying, you know.
No. Yes,
So I
sir.
don't know, man. That's that. Like I said, whatever it was, it was able to have offspring. So you was close enough in species
Right.
to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Now y'all ain't saying that you probably did run into something that you wasn't supposed to procreate with because it wasn't gonna happen. You know.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I ain't gonna put it past him now. You probably
It
did run
won't, it
across
won't
something,
come
you
out
know what I'm
right.
saying? Man, let's try this shit. Let's see what this
Oh
like.
man, please. I'm sure. And that didn't work. You had to walk. You had to walk away from that. Stop feeding it or something. Just say, "Man, we fucked up. Can't do that shit again."
Yeah,
Yeah.
motherfucker, might got bit up, might have got beat up. Ain't no telling what the fuck happened. Yeah, we run up behind that motherfucker just.
All that. Right. You too different. You won't get to nobody else.
Motherfucker go back to the village all bit up and shit. What the fuck you do, man? Shit,
Yeah.
I tried to fuck with that little. You ain't never see that motherfucker run around.
You clowning. Same holla holla, huh? The game didn't change. The methods may have. Huh?
Motherfucker said, hell
Yeah,
yeah, I see it.
damn
I just could.
hobbits and shit.
Motherfucker like, yeah, I seen it. I just couldn't catch that motherfucker. I'm glad you let us know. Can't fuck with that. Yeah. But all right,
Right.
let's go, man.
Right.
Y'all crazy as shit.
As a result, Africa entered the historical period first. By the end of the 4th millennium BCE, Africans had already invented writing. From around 3300 BCE, there are written documents that allow us to trace the evolution of African civilizations, particularly in the Nile Valley. Around 4236 BCE, Africans had already created a sidereal calendar based on the rising of Sirius, the brightest star in the sky, located in the constellation Canis Major. The Egyptians observed that Sirius rose with the sun every 1,460 years, and this phenomenon formed the basis of their calendar. The accuracy of the Egyptian calendar shows the advanced astronomical knowledge of the time.
Hit your mic,
They
D.
observed that the
really?
star rose
Easy.
simultaneously with the sun at a particular latitude, with this alignment occurring every 1,460 years. This understanding led to a precise system of timekeeping that could account for discrepancies over time. For example, they knew that the annual alignment drifted by about a quarter of a day each year, necessitating adjustments over a 4-year period to maintain accuracy. By the Old Kingdom, around 2778 BCE, during the reign of Pharaoh Djoser, all the essential elements of Egyptian civilization were in place. The Egyptians excelled in various scientific and technological fields, including medicine, mathematics, engineering, and architecture. The famous polymath Imhotep, who was later deified by the Greeks, made significant contributions during this time, especially in architecture, with the construction of the Step Pyramid. Mathematics in Egypt, particularly geometry, was highly advanced compared to Mesopotamian practices. The Ren Papyrus, for example, contains mathematical problems that illustrate the Egyptians' theoretical knowledge. These were not just practical calculations, but demonstrated a deeper understanding of abstract mathematical principles. The
So he get ready to clear up a few things about Mesopotamia, right? And they develop it as well as Kemet. All right. So so he can really get into that, man. Just check this out. This kind of important because he kind of clear up a few things about Mesopotamia or Sumer or whatever whichever one you call.
The Egyptian influence extended beyond science and into art and architecture. The use of dressed stone in construction began during the Third Dynasty. Egyptian architectural techniques and artistic styles later influenced Greek culture, particularly in the adoption of similar artistic canons. As African civilization flourished, it passed its knowledge to the Mediterranean world. This period marked the second phase of Africa's contribution to universal civilization, where the values and advancements of Egyptian civilization were transmitted to Greece, and from there to the broader Western world. The Greeks who traveled to Egypt, such as Thales in the 6th century BCE, acquired knowledge that they later adapted and passed down as part of their own intellectual heritage. However, it is crucial to acknowledge that much of this knowledge originated in Africa. The exchange of ideas and technologies facilitated by these early scholars helped lay the foundation for Western civilization, but it began with the early achievements of African societies. Africa's role in the history of humanity is not only foundational, but also transformative. From being the birthplace of humanity and the origin of early human migrations, Africa has contributed significantly to the development of science, technology, and culture, laying the groundwork for the progress of civilization worldwide. Imagine the sun, a phenomenon so fleeting, rising at the same time as a star. This event lasts for just a few seconds, less than a minute, and it does not happen again for another 1,460 years. If you observe it over consecutive years, you'll notice that after the first year, there is a discrepancy of a quarter of a day. In the second year, it grows to half a day. And after 4 years, there is a one-day difference. Consequently, since around 4,236 BCE, the Egyptians were aware of the leap year and could have easily adjusted their 365-day calendar by adding an extra day every 4 years. However, instead of correcting the calendar every 4 years, they chose to observe the phenomenon's shift over 1,460 years before adding an additional year to the calendar. The Egyptians valued this sidereal calendar so highly that the pharaoh established a special office to monitor the time difference between the sidereal calendar and the ordinary calendar. This monitoring was essential for understanding the heliacal risings that marked Egyptian history. This serves to illustrate that Egypt entered the historical period with precise astronomical knowledge. On this point, there is near unanimity among specialists. The Egyptians had mastered a method for determining lunar phases that was completely distinct from the methods that would be invented later. While the Egyptians were able to predict the movement of the heavens from very early times, in Mesopotamia, despite many observations, they never managed to establish a regular or reliable calendar. Mesopotamian astronomy is more accurately described as astrology, as it lacked the systematic precision found in Egyptian astronomical practices. Although many observations were made in Mesopotamia, including relevant ones, they never developed a consistent calendar. For example, to account for discrepancies, they occasionally added a 13th or 14th month, and toward the later periods, they devised various rules to adjust the calendar based on lunar observations. In contrast, during Egypt's Old Kingdom, around 2778 BCE under Pharaoh Djoser, all the technological elements of Egyptian civilization were already in place, including medicine, mathematics, geometry, algebra, trigonometry, mechanics, and architecture.
Hey man, our people were so cold, King. Our people were so cold, man. Just this. Listen, man. This was around the third dynasty, King. This the third dynasty. How long you think it took them to develop that science, King? That was the third dynasty, King. This was right. So they had already built the pyramids. Was a lot of the pyramids was already up there. Like so you developed that. How long would it have took
Now,
you to
the
develop that
third
that that, that
dynasty,
science?
the third dynasty is when they thought them, the pyramid.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. How long would it took them to develop that science, though? Huh? Those are that yeah, you're right. That's the first pyramids is built by the brother, right? I'm saying what I'm saying is uh how long do you think it took them to develop that science? That was the third dynasty. That's what I'm saying. That's the
Yeah,
third
but
dynasty,
you
old
heard
kingdom.
them, you heard them talk about they keeping track of when the Syrian star rise with the sun, and that takes place every 1,450 years. So they on some whole different goddamn level. America ain't even 250 years old.
Right, right. But I'm
You
just
hear
saying,
Donald
man,
Trump tell people that America is nearly anything.
our people was so cold, man. Our people was so cold, man. Like you can't you just listen to they had developed geometry or trigonometry. They had already had that to the science. Already. Already, man. Man, cut it out, man. There ain't no way. Ain't no way, man. We so much older than what these people. I mean, our civilization wise, we are so much older, King. They understood that, man. Like that's just amazing to me, man. It's people don't understand that today, man. I don't understand it today.
But
Shit.
again, our people were so smart and technically logical that they tried to say that they couldn't have did it. The aliens had to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to give our people the credit. They want to give it to a goddamn alien. Our people was on top of their game so much.
That comes from living a meiotic life, King.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that's from. Listen, man, there's no other way to say, listen, man, because in order for you to be able to develop that kind of science, he even developed, he even dedicated a team to track the calendar, King. So for you to be able to spend that kind of time into science that way, King, you had to have like everything that you ever wanted, man. You didn't have no fucking worries in this civil in this community, in this civilization, in this whole like countryside, man. Kemet, period. Right? For Kemet to listen, man, you had to be eating good, plenty of water, a roof over your head, clothes on your back. You had to be, what I'm saying, kids. Like, listen, man, you had to be, what I'm saying, like, in order for you to be able to develop that kind of science instead of like in Europe, they had to survive. They had to find they had to kill something to put on their back so they don't freeze to death and starve to death. They had to kill something. They had, what I'm saying, they had to go out and get it, man. You know what I'm saying? And or freeze to death or starve to death. You know what I'm saying? They had to survive. Kemet was thriving, man, to the point where it was like I said, a meiotic lifestyle, King. Like everything was in harmony, everything was in balance. For you to be able to develop that science in the third, and you understood it very well in the third dynasty. When did you develop it? Because you're building pyramids at this point. Am I right or wrong? So you understood it at this point. I'm saying, when did you develop it? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. When did you develop that, man? When did that come about? When did the first, I mean, I guess the what's the vein, the Shango bone? I guess, is that what it's called? E?
You got the Limpopo, and you got the Shango. I believe the Shango is older.
Yeah, right. It's the
I
oldest one, right?
believe
Right.
some of the yeah.
Yeah, man. Like you, so math.
Yes,
We
sir.
understood mathematics that
Yes,
long
sir.
ago. Understand that, man. Like yeah, man. We had our
Yes.
people was cold, man. Our people
She
was
got back
cold,
out.
cold, 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 man. All right, let me keep going.
Yes, sir.
Y'all ready? Y'all got anything y'all want to say? Gerald, E,
I'm good. I'm straight.
Gerald,
I'm good.
I'm
Unc,
good.
Unc, you good, Unc? I see you riding.
I'm good. I'm
Okay,
good. Yeah, I'm right.
okay, all right, all right, all right. Here we go.
The Egyptians were advanced in these fields during the Third Dynasty. This was the time of Imhotep, a polymath whom the Greeks later deified, who contributed significantly to advancements in architecture and medicine. The Egyptians developed dressed stone architecture during this period, setting the stage for the monumental constructions for which ancient Egypt is renowned. Egyptian mathematics, particularly geometry, was sophisticated and rigorous, unlike the less precise Mesopotamian approach. The Rhind Papyrus, a well-known mathematical text, shows that scribes had copied even older works dating back to the Old Kingdom. The Moscow Papyrus, another important document, contains mathematical problems that demonstrate a high level of abstraction and theoretical understanding, later influencing Greek scholars like Pythagoras, Thales, Plato, Eudoxus, and Archimedes. For example, the Moscow Papyrus includes problems related to calculating the volume of truncated pyramids and spheres. The Egyptians had a precise formula for the volume of a truncated pyramid, which matches the modern equation.
Rent a car from our newest fleet yet. Your real car never has to know.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us.
1/3 of the height times the sum of the squares of the top and base sides, plus the product of the top and base sides. Achieving such an analytical expression would not have been possible through empirical observation alone. In contrast, Mesopotamian mathematics offered calculating the volume of truncated pyramids and
Just want y'all to
spheres.
hear this, man.
The Egyptians had a precise formula for the volume of a truncated pyramid, which matches the modern equation. 1/3 of the height times the sum of the squares of the top and base sides, plus the product of the top and base sides. Achieving such an analytical expression would not have been possible through empirical observation alone. In contrast, Mesopotamian mathematics offered an incorrect formula for the volume of a truncated pyramid, demonstrating that their geometry was indeed empirical and often inaccurate. Their formula did not include the term necessary for calculating the volume correctly, indicating the limitations of their mathematical approach. The Moscow Papyrus also addresses the volume of spheres. Those with a background in mathematics will understand how challenging it is to derive the surface area or volume of curved shapes. Yet, the Egyptians managed to arrive at the correct formula for the surface area of a sphere, 4 times pi times the square of the radius, which aligns with modern mathematics. This theoretical approach to mathematics.
Y'all see how cold our people is, man. You see how you see the difference between how how Mesopotamia math was off, and how our shit was dead on, dead on. Like, listen, man, you can't. That's see, yeah, see, that's why I said he cleared up a few things about Mesopotamia. It's another thing that he cleared up about this about
Sounds
their
like
math.
it
Go ahead.
sounds like so many people try to overstand the original. And we know that happened. But it just didn't fit. It didn't work, and they couldn't substitute it.
Well, you got theory, right? You got something theory, but if you try to build it, that shit don't work. When they were saying inhibit, with that theory, they actually built civilization with it. It wasn't just playing around, throwing numbers around. Build some fake shit and people won't die.
See,
You don't
that's
have
why.
environmental, what they call it, engineering problems. That shit ain't gonna work.
That's right.
Somebody gonna die.
And that's why you don't have no mega structures over in Mesopotamia, because their math wasn't right.
There you go.
So like Jerome said, hey, somebody gonna die going up in that building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's gonna fall in. It ain't gonna stand up.
Look out they math, out they geometry, that shit gonna
And the reason
that shit
and the
gonna be
reason why Kemet shit
a
is still standing,
disaster.
because they math was A1.
Yeah.
They should still stand today because they math was A1.
Them
If your
old jokes
math
was
is not
gonna
on
maintain
A1, it's gonna fall in at some point.
it.
Yeah. So and Kemet shows the development of the pyramids. They show the development. Imhotep showed the
Yes, sir.
development.
Yes, sir.
They show the development
Yes,
of the
sir.
pyramids as they go. They show the mistakes. They show their own. They learn from their mistakes. Yeah, and so they learn,
Yes, sir.
and you see the evolution of the great pyramids of Giza. You see it. You
Yes.
see how it ain't no damn
Okay.
aliens. You see where they tried this and they did that and they did this and hope they got it.
Yeah, the mid pyramid.
That's right.
Yeah, the one when they tried the meal and they hadn't got it right yet, and that motherfucker mid. And they call it the mid pyramid tonight.
Today, but it's still up there though, bent.
Right.
So, but I'm just saying, listen, man, our people, so that they show the development. So when they tell you, the aliens built it or some, no, man, they show,
The Anunnaki made
yeah,
our people slaves, and
all
they
that
made a
trash.
meal and all this old that shit.
Yeah, all that trash. No, man, you see how them Africans was it was trial and error. They was trial and error. They was doing their math right, and they finally got the math right. And they got that. They got the and everything, and like the step pyramid, all that, man. He had the math right on what he was building.
Right. And
You know what I'm
then,
saying?
when at the beginning, when it was said Africans left out of Africa and populated the world, let me hear it. When the world already populated, them Africans who had that knowledge on how to meal, master meal, they left out again and went over the world. When
That's
you
right.
see here in America and Mexico, I ain't talking about no mounds like them goddamn Virginians always talking about the mounds and all that shit. We talking about in stone, the almond.
The
There was
Almacs.
Africans that them brought that knowledge out of Africa. They took it all over the world again. Well, you see that the whole meal is African. God damn it.
And that's facts.
They done look up the Nile Valley and they showing people how to do it.
So don't let nobody tell you that no aliens built them pyramids or no some Sumerian doctrine called the Anunnaki. They I guess they done built it. No, man. Them Africans went over there and they knew what they was doing. They built them pyramids. And like I said, they show you the development of the Great Pyramids of Giza. They show it to you. All you got to do is look at the history, fam. Don't listen to these fools, man. Don't listen to these clowns. Look it up yourself. Look it up yourself, family, and you're gonna see the development of those pyramids. You're gonna see how they developed it, how they came about, how each step, each time that they built, you see it got better and better and better. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Further highlights the advanced nature of Egyptian knowledge. Archimedes, often regarded as one of the greatest mathematicians of antiquity, considered his discovery related to spheres and cylinders to be his most significant achievement. The figure representing this discovery was even engraved on his tombstone. Yet the Egyptians had already conceptualized this over 2,000 years before Archimedes was born. These examples show that Egypt's mathematical knowledge was not just practical, but also theoretical. Contrary to claims that Egyptian mathematics was purely empirical, their work contained a level of abstraction and theoretical rigor that would later be transmitted to Greek scholars. The evidence for this transmission of knowledge is well documented, though often underappreciated. Egypt's scientific achievements were not limited to mathematics. They extended to medicine, where evidence from the Edwin Smith papyrus shows that the Egyptians had a sophisticated understanding of anatomy and surgical practices, including knowledge of the brain and its functions. This text contains the earliest recorded cases, linking brain injuries to physical impairments, indicating a level of medical knowledge far ahead of its time. The Egyptians also excelled in the arts, with the development of dressed stone architecture dating back to the 3rd dynasty. Their artistic influence extended to Greek art, particularly in the use of canons of proportion that guided sculpture and painting. The parallels between Egyptian and later Greek art underscore the transmission of cultural and artistic practices from Africa to the Mediterranean. Egypt's civilization, therefore, played a fundamental role in shaping the course of history. The technological and scientific innovations developed in Egypt were transmitted to other cultures, particularly Greece, during a second phase of African influence on global civilization. This process of transmission helped lay the groundwork for the development of Western culture, illustrating Africa's pivotal role in the history of human progress. In conclusion, Egypt's entry into the historical period was marked by significant advancements in various fields of knowledge, many of which formed the foundation of later civilizations. The Egyptians' ability to observe, record, and interpret natural phenomena allowed them to develop complex systems of timekeeping, mathematics, medicine, and the arts. These contributions demonstrate that Africa's role in the history of civilization is not only foundational, but transformative. The knowledge developed in Egypt was not confined to the Nile Valley, but was passed on to subsequent cultures, making Africa a central player in the development of human civilization. Remarkably, the Egyptians had grasped this concept approximately 2,000 years before Archimedes was even born. Today, historical research, based strictly on documents available to humanity, supports this fact. Other scholars are aware of these findings, and some acknowledge them, but these facts often remain confined to academic circles. The purpose of this lecture is to share knowledge that has been known for a long time, but hasn't been popularized. Much of what the Egyptians achieved remains largely in libraries due to the lack of widespread dissemination. In the field of Egyptian arithmetic, they had also developed what could be considered today as a form of logarithmic table. This consisted of decomposing fractions with a numerator of 2 over odd numbers. Such decompositions enabled the Egyptians to perform various arithmetic calculations, suggesting a deep understanding of elementary mathematical theories. Because Egyptian civilization was highly secretive, Much of their scientific knowledge was lost or closely guarded, making it difficult even for the Greeks to access. Notable figures such as Pythagoras, Plato, and Eudoxus had to undergo significant challenges to learn these secrets. In 1967, American researchers sought to determine whether Egyptian methods were purely empirical or rational by using computers to analyze ancient mathematical problems. They tested 50 arithmetic equations and found over 22,000 possible decompositions. Despite this, the 1967 computer was unable to outperform a scribe from 4,000 years ago, confirming that the Egyptians employed rational methods. The Egyptians also pioneered trigonometry.
Quality at unbeatable prices? Yes, chef.
Horse duvers?
Wells Fargo has donated roughly $420 million to help small business owners through nonprofits, helping them overcome challenges and create jobs within their community. Doing gets it done.
Their mathematical texts show mastery of arithmetic and geometric progressions, with exercises addressing complex problems, including systems of first and second degree equations. This indicates their familiarity with algebra. In terms of engineering, evidence suggests the Egyptians used inclined planes to move massive stones for pyramid construction. By measuring the slope of these ramps, it is possible to calculate the amount of force required and estimate the time taken to build structures like the Great Pyramid of Giza, which took around 30 years, and the Pyramid of Sneferu, which took about 19 years, not a century, as sometimes thought. The Egyptians were also highly advanced in medicine. According to Herodotus, their medical specialization included doctors for the eyes, stomach, and other specific areas, as well as general practitioners and healers who focused on psychological therapies, resembling modern psychiatric treatments. The Edwin Smith Papyrus, one of the oldest medical texts, shows that the Egyptians had developed a scientific approach to bone surgery. It also contains the first known references to the brain and attempts to link brain injuries to physical symptoms like paralysis. The Egyptians' scientific achievements
So I don't know if or anything similar to the belladonna treatment. I would doubt it coming out of Africa was utilized way back then. Anybody know anything similar?
To what effect?
The belladonna treatment, the shock treatment, put the plate on the head and shock you,
Oh yeah, I don't know about that one, King. I couldn't answer that one.
Yeah, or anything. That's what I'm just wondering. Anything similar? I'm gonna look something up like that. Okay, that's all I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's barbaric. You know what I mean? Back to the other conversation we was having. Had to do those things to survive and eat and shit like that. And I think those treatments just transferred over from the same culture. Just my thought. Nothing factual, just thought. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I ain't never heard of that in Africa. I mean, not at that time, at least.
What's that? Jay?
He was talking about some shock treatment.
I was talking about the belladonna treatment, and I wouldn't expect that particularly, specifically to be back then. But do you know of anything similar?
Oh wow, I know.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, there's something to look.
Extended beyond exact sciences to the arts, with dressed stone architecture dating back to the Third Dynasty.
Like that.
There is no doubt that Egyptian art influenced Greek art, evident in the use of similar artistic canons. These parallels underscore the transmission of artistic traditions from Egypt to Greece. The second phase of African influence on civilization involved the transmission of Egyptian knowledge to the Mediterranean world, especially Greece. The earliest known Greek to travel to Egypt for study was Thales in the 6th century BCE. The idea that Thales performed surveys and measurements at the Great Pyramid is more legend than fact. It's crucial to understand that at that time, Greece was still relatively undeveloped compared to Egypt. Egyptian science emerged under state protection and developed to serve the state, particularly for managing the environment along the Nile Valley. In contrast, Greek tradition was often resistant to innovation. It's important to remember that even Socrates was executed for supposedly corrupting the morals of the city. Greek society, despite its later contributions, initially struggled with accepting new ideas, whereas scientific and mathematical knowledge in Egypt was deeply ingrained as part of a long-standing African tradition. Overall, Egypt's civilization played a pivotal role in the history of human progress. The technologies and scientific advancements developed there were foundational to later achievements across the Mediterranean and beyond. Socrates died by drinking poison, hemlock, as you know, and this happened because he was suspected of deviating from the moral code of the city and adopting universalist ideas that could undermine the institutional foundations of Greek society. This reflects a kind of northern individualism inherited from the steppes and Asian regions. It was Thales who first went to Egypt, studied Egyptian mathematics, and introduced geometry to Greece. Even during Plato's time, Greece had not moved beyond the city-state framework. In contrast, Egypt, and Africa more broadly, had already established states that encompassed multiple cities, complete with distinct institutions and a different political philosophy. Science was a novelty in Greece, and it faced significant resistance from the religion and traditions of Greek society, which was one of the most intolerant societies of antiquity, until the popular revolutions and the rise of democratic assemblies. Greek social structures were rigid, and any innovators faced fierce repression. Anaxagoras, for example, nearly faced execution, but was saved by his friendship with Pericles. Aristotle also had to flee to avoid being killed, as did Plato. Socrates, however, was executed. This reflects the broader attitude of Greek society towards its intellectuals. There was no room for philosophical or scientific innovation. These ideas were foreign to the Greek social structures until significant changes occurred. The future of Greek society was not driven by its aristocracy, but by the common people, those without property or political rights who lived outside the city walls. These disenfranchised groups had to fight for the right to participate in society. The real potential for secular and rational thought in Greek society lay with the common people, and it was with their rise that Greek society began to secularize, despite the complex conditions surrounding these changes. This historical context highlights the resistance to innovation and the struggle for new ideas in ancient Greece. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of the hunt will always glorify the hunter.
Let me show you how I...
Hey, so that's it, fam. Yeah, that's it, man. Just wanted y'all to see, you know, our development, man, and some of our history right here. He just gave you a lot of dates, gave you a lot of information right here. This is our history right here, fam. We gotta participate in this, man. You gotta know this kind of stuff. This is all before slavery. All this is before slavery, right? And this is real life. This is not no make-believe stuff. This is what really happened, right? This is how, this is how we developed. This is how, when we came out of Africa, right? It's just really important, fam. It's just
Yeah,
really
when
important.
the rest of y'all be worrying about what Moses and Abraham and all that bullshit every Sunday. No, this reality. This is what was really going on. All that
That's right. That's it.
Abraham and what Moses was doing and Jacob and Israel and all that old bullshit, that's a lie. This is history. This is what was going on with our people. All that old ham,
That's right.
bullshit and whatever. No.
Right.
This is the real deal right here. Emo here. No here. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
The pyramid building. Yeah. Get that fairy tale shit out your head. Like, that was going on back in the day. With Abraham and David and all that bullshit was doing. Fuck that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's facts. That's facts, man. That's facts. E.
Yes, sir.
Hey, here we go right here, E.
Okay.
The map. Uganda right here. You see it?
Mm-hmm. The Congo.
Y'all see that better?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This supposed to this area right here is supposed to be the cradle of humanity. Somewhere around here. Uganda, Kenya, Kampala, Lake Victoria, which ain't no damn Lake Victoria. That should be like Lake Uganda or Lake Kenya. But you see all this down here, all this right here. So this area right here, man, is what we talking about, right? This area we talking about. It's the cradle of humanity right here. Y'all wait. Hey, y'all agree with that?
Say that again.
I said the cradle of
I agree
humanity.
with it.
Oh, no doubt.
The Uganda, Kenya, Kampala, all that area right there. All that area right there. That's
Want to try one?
that's that's the cradle. That's somewhere in there. That's the cradle of humanity.
Great Rift Valley, around that area, right? Zambia. I mean, not Zambia. Great Rift Valley. That's right. All that area, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
And it must have flourished and it must have flourished in that area for long periods of time. And that's what the numbers seem to have grown because when you hear about those haplogroups and large numbers like that of the Bantu, that means they probably had some kind of explosion as far as
What you mean?
you know uh, having kids, having babies, because the situation must have been perfect. I mean, the quality of life has been really good. When you got an explosion of births, that means the quality of life is really good. You know what I'm saying? So you had all your needs being met right there. Serious river systems, serious river systems.
Oh yeah, you see it? You see him? All through there.
You know what I mean? And then as long as you got trees growing, yeah, yes, sir. Look at all the veins, man. A lot of veins, man. A lot of veins. Anywhere you got food, got trees growing, you got kids, you can make house, make yes, sir. You got mountains, and now you can do
It's got pistachios inside of the nest.
certain rocks and shit. You can probably small shit and come down and making certain shit with her. Now, yeah, you got a lot of veins, man. Marker, what they say, Macaria pans, Malawi. Um, and look here, Lake Malawi is
Is what? Oh, he jumped off. Hey, he probably gonna jump back on.
Yeah,
So, yeah, because I want to ask him. Hey, Gerald. Okay. Hey, there you go. Go ahead, E. You popped off for a minute. E, you there?
Yeah, I'm here now. I lost my signal.
Okay. Start all over, E. Go ahead. You said Lake Malawi, and then he went out. Unmute yourself.
Oh yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, huge lake.
So Lake Malawi, that was you were
It's a
saying.
great large body of water. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The old lake.
Okay, now
Old
E.
lake, yeah.
Now where did you say that
Hold
the
on, let me get you.
that the Khoisan come from? Where they come from?
South of Tanzania.
South of Tanzania
South
down
of,
here? Oh, Malawi down here.
yeah.
You talking about down here?
Let me see. Let me open my. Go further south. Shit, the Kalahari, down by the Kalahari Desert, baby.
Can you
Way
expand that,
south,
Jamie?
on the south of Zambia. Yes, sir.
This is high as it get right here.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
There you go.
bet. It's
Now
still
you go.
good.
Kalahari. That's where they at, around that area, by the Kalahari Desert. Yeah.
Where's that? Hold on, I don't see it. Kalahari.
You see the Kalahari Desert in Botswana?
Botswana? Hold on.
The Kalahari Desert is
Go
in
down,
Botswana.
Jamie, down and to the left.
Yeah,
I see
southern
Botswana.
Botswana.
All right, I see Botswana. Okay, so you talking about down there by South Africa?
Because one of the migration theories. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Some, because one of the theories say that some Africans went north and some went south. Migrated south of their origin, south of the Great Lakes region. Yeah.
Okay, so this is Kalahari right here. Okay, so then who was up here by Uganda and all that?
Because look right there. You got the Okavango Delta. That was where they found Lucy.
Where they find Lucy?
Lucy was found at?
Where?
Around that area? But the
Around where? Botswana?
Okavango Delta.
Wait a minute.
Okavango Delta in Botswana, northern Botswana.
That's where Lucy was found?
Some of the oldest remains are found there. That's where I believe Lucy was found. Some of the oldest remains are found there too. Yeah. Okavango. Look it up. I believe that's where Lucy was found. Let me confirm that. Mm-hmm. Okavango.
Okavango?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I see
Okavango
that.
Delta.
Yeah, that's right here. Okavango. Yeah. So that's what you said. That's where
UNESCO is the UNESCO World Heritage Site.
So that's where the Twa come from.
The Twa.
Yeah, where the Twa come from?
But I'm thinking somewhere like I think the Twa came from the Great Lakes.
That's up south, ain't it?
According to what Dr. Ben was saying, and those people, huh? The south of where? The Okavango?
I was saying that's up south.
Sure. You can say that. Yeah.
Okay, but no, hold on. Okay, so I see where Okavango is. Where you said
Yes.
in the Great Lakes. Where's the Great Lakes at?
But Sierra Leone and
You talking about
right?
up here
North, north, up by Rwanda. Yes, Uganda. Yes, around that area.
right here.
From Tanzania, of that area, that whole area, that's called Great Lakes region. Yes. From you go from Uganda south,
Burundi and
probably
all them.
Lake Malawi is probably region there, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And remember the Great Rift Valley. They said some old stuff was found there as well. Yes.
Wow.
So Okavango, I do believe, is a wildlife reservation now. Mhm.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Congo. I thought they were closer to the Congo.
Well, what they used to call the Congo was a bigger area. What they used to refer to as the Congo was a much larger area. When you look at the map, and now the Congo you see right now doesn't do justice to the hell is that? That's somebody's phone? Man.
They're watching you, he.
Yeah, what they show as the Congo now, bro, that's some new map shit. I don't. And that's why I was reading about one of the reasons I was looking at Lake Malawi, by it being an ancient lake, an old lake, you know, which sustains a very popular fish. I think the cichlid is one of the most abundant species of fish on the planet. And it was very interesting. The documentary they were talking about the marine life there, and how a lot of the fish species that they have there originate out of that one species. I just found it interesting. But yeah, there's some good documentary on Lake Malawi and on YouTube and find, or actually on probably History Channel or some shit. But YouTube probably got. So according to, well, based on geography, you could have been anywhere in that area, as long as you had some access to food, water, shelter. Man, come on, the weather was right, baby. The weather was right, and you probably ain't had to worry about. You ain't probably had to worry about fucking around with no damn, remnants of an ice age, unless you was north of Sudan. Shit, but down there, man, you weren't fucking no ice ever. Probably shit.
No, they got
Nah,
some areas that do get snow though.
too close to the goddamn equator. Well, yeah, but up in the mountains.
I think that's like up in Algeria and all that up in there,
Yeah.
that area, way up there in the mountains up there.
Oh, well, sure. You see how far that is from the equator?
Morocco
That's a
probably get
distance.
cold too.
Yes, sir.
Morocco get snow.
Oh,
Yeah, they get snow too.
Look, at one time during that last ice age, Morocco was getting cold. It was probably cold as hell up there. Shit. If it was bearable, livable.
Yeah.
Northern Africa probably got hit with some of that last ice age for sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that
But
could have
yeah.
been the reason why a lot of them inhabitants are lighter skinned, because they was already up there. It was already up there. And as the ice melted, they stayed up there and adapted.
Well, now it looks like we got Chad, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. I think that I think they joining forces, man. Like that whole west
Really?
side look like they coming in, man. Sierra Leone look like they trying to come in too. Yeah, even Senegal. Yeah. So it look like they trying to join forces,
Well, hey,
man.
fellas, I'm gonna have to get going, man. I got some guys here working on the crib, so
All right, King. All right, man. Be
I'm gonna
safe,
have to get
man.
rolling.
Okay, King. Be safe, man.
Amen.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all take care. All right.
All right,
Peace.
King.
All right. Peace and love.
Peace, peace.
Yeah.
Hey, but yeah, here we go, man. But anyway, I just wanted to show a little bit of the map. Uh, see what where all this stuff is at, man. When you talking about Mesopotamia or all that, that's up here.
Okay.
All that's up here. Uh, you know, all up here by is all of Iraq and all that. That's what that is. That's Iraq and all that over there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you want to get a good, idea of where we're talking, where the places that we're speaking of Mesopotamia right here. This is what Dr. Diop was talking about right here. Mesopotamia, Iraq area. This is modern day Iraq. Um, and the area they talking about is Sumer. Is Sumer, and it's same area, an Iraq area. Um, and then you see where Egypt and the Suez Canal and all that. Then you see where Israel is supposed to be over here. You see Israel right here, right next to the Suez Canal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is where you see, give you an idea of even 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 the you know a lot of your some of your Bible come out of these areas. Some of your some of the content in your Bible, some of the concepts, should I say, in your Bible come from some of your concepts come from this area. You know what I mean? Uh, they got a flood story up in the west that they got a flood story too. You know what I mean? That's much older than the biblical flood story. You know what I mean? So you just got to understand that this is where the stuff come from. You know what I mean? Iraq, your flood story probably more than likely they continued the story. You know, man. Kemet, we have a flood story as well. It floods every year in Kemet. So yeah, but not a worldwide flood where everybody died. We don't have record of that, family. We don't have no record of that. All right. So just to clear that up, okay. But everybody had a flood story, some kind of flood story though. All right. And that's it, man. That's all I got, man. That's all I got, fam. That's it.
That's good. Hey, let me show you guys. Let me show you something real quick, Jamie.
Hold on, let me get off. I got you.
All right. Great share, man. I was in and out, but it was a great share. And I'm gonna watch that video on my own. And Cheikh Anta Diop is important, man.
Yeah, go ahead, you good.
Okay. We're talking about Barb's legacy right here. I am Barb's legacy. All right.
Ashe.
Park. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Party got the Mr. Party ain't aged since I left almost 30 years ago.
He sure hasn't, man.
Right. So he got the award that they give out from for Barb. All right.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I'll send you the
Nice.
link, man, and you can go over it. I just want to play this one part here. I just want to give respect to Charlie Dean and the Dean family doing all they can, man, for Lansing to make it respectful and clean it up some, man, and the pain that the struggle that he went through himself and Jamie, I'll send you the whole link and you can check that out. And but I wanted to share Mika's part though.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to a salute to the Dean family.
Right.
Salute. Salute.
Can you guys hear that?
No.
Okay, that's all right. Let me unplug.
Yeah, there you go.
But I would like to say that if you have it in your heart, you feel any type of way for anybody's family this year for Thanksgiving, my mother would always make us go and find a homeless person to bring to Thanksgiving. So if you can stop by and see anyone homeless or whatever, and just take them plate and hand it to them, I would greatly honor that she would. Thank
You have someone that's sitting at our table that we didn't know. You don't care if you're white, black, green, polka dot, or whatever. You don't care. I just want to say this to all of us in this room. It's some troubling times in our lives now. We're going to have to get rooted in something, and hopefully we get rooted in respecting one another. Because now we done lost respect. You say why these crashes and cars are doing well? Because people don't care where you going, because they try to go where the hell the heck they were. Sorry.
So yeah, I just wanted to pay homage to my aunt and the family that's doing good work over there. And I say to Barbara Jean Dean.
I say.
Let me get back here.
That's right, man. Like I said, man, salute to BB and you know, and the work he putting in for Lansing. Good work, King. Good work, man.
All right. Let me unshare this. Yeah, really good work they're doing over there, man. I was going to show you that I should have put the trophy up there, in memorabilia for and remembering Barb and passing on the legacy. But I didn't do that. So, just big ups to the fam.
That's right, man. That's right. Hey, family, like, subscribe, share, give us a comment, let us know what you think. Yeah, Barb was she was I remember staying the night at the house with him.
Yeah,
You
no
know,
doubt.
yeah, man, having a ball over there, man, between Moo House and Barb House.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? All around that joint, man. Karki, I remember old crazy Karki.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Arnetta Cage and the fam and all
Yeah,
that.
all of 'em, man. I mean, everybody around that way, man. Yeah. Shout out to everybody over there, man. I say to Moo Moo.
Right, I say.
I say, you know, yeah, man.
The only one standing now is maybe not the only one, but the prominent ones in our life is Madge, Arnetta and them mom, and Sharon Barkley's mom.
Yeah.
Fuzz's mom is gone, Shay, and everybody's gone, man. I'm off, so
yeah.
I just wanted to show some love, man.
For sure, man. For sure. All right, family, man. We're gonna get out of here, man. Hey, like, subscribe, share. Like I said, don't forget, first Sunday of the month, next Sunday, We're gonna be doing something with the kids, children's book read. So be ready for that, family. Like I said, we put it. You know, we're gonna expose all the history we got. You know what I'm saying? We read about kings and queens of ancient Africa. You know what I'm saying? At times, and a lot, and some of these queens are dealing with slavery. They are dealing with the slavery. And when the slave master, when the Portuguese and all them came over there, and you know try to try to take over and take the slaves back, and we got some we got some good books about some of the fights that they had, some of the wars that they had over there about the slave trade. All right. So like I said, family, join us. We're gonna show you what we're talking about. This is something that you can look up and you'll better find it. Other people wrote about it. All right. We're talking about real places, real people, real events. Okay. That's what we talk about. All right. Facts over feelings, family. Sorry, but it's got to be that way. We got to do facts over feelings. All right. Hey, so go ahead, tell them what you think, man.
Yeah, man, great presentation, man. Make sure you send me that joint, man, so I can review it.
Okay.
And then I'll post this up on Sankofa and abroad and yeah, come on over to the children's book read. It's really important information for our children and for the adults as well. It's time to you have the opportunity with Sankofa 180 degrees to open up in dialogue, face to face instead of just texting. If you really want to get into it, man, we can get into it and come over and see us. So I always put the invite up on various platforms, waiting for some people to come in, but we locked and loaded whether you show up or not. We putting the information out there whether you like it or not. And so, uh, you know, peace to our ancestral thread. And Gerald, man, continue to heal well, my brother. I'm gonna be in touch with you this week, man.
For sure. For sure, brother. Joe, you there? And Joe might have stepped away. Hey, but I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Hey, join us every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have open mic. You talk about whatever you want, whatever's on your mind. We can we'll better address it. All right. We're better build on it. All right. So just come on in, man. And every Sunday we got something going on. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us. Next Sunday, children's book read, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us. We're gonna be there, man. Thanks for joining us, family. Like I said, like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment if you got one.
Yeah, and understand that you can share our content, full blown. We ain't putting no restrictions on nothing. You come on over and talk about it if you want to, share it with whoever you want to, chop it up how you want to. So that's how we roll.
That's right. We ain't hiding from nobody. Come on. Get it and do what you gotta do with it. Do what you gotta do with it. All right, family. We out, man. Peace.
All right.
Gerald, you there? I think he's stepped away.